mind being laughed at. Don't mind being laughed at all.
I'm laughing at you with love.
With love, oh.
Of course.
It's like when my brother says, "I love you. You're an idiot."
There you go. You see? And God, you guys look alike.
Well, to some people we do, but I don't know. I always felt we didn't. Tom is way uglier than I am, It's just a fact, It's just an
Have
an
you guys
objective
ever met
fact.
Tom?
Yes.
Oh my God! I cannot believe how much you guys look alike.
Where's Tom right now? Is he like in the other room or?
No, usually he's here, but he's at his lady's house. So yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't say he's ugly. Over there.
I would say to his face, right to his face.
All right.
Say he's ugly, then you're ugly.
No, you see, that's the problem we had growing up. All the insults about how someone looks or about their mother, we couldn't make any of those, because we had the same mother.
Well, obviously.
I remember we'd get caught up like oh, your face is. Wait, hang on.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, here we go. Make sure I get everything set here. So quiet all of a sudden.
I got a question now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I put the logo thing on there for me.
Yeah, I see it.
I wonder, is it backwards for you, or is that just the way it looks for me right now?
It's just the way it looks for you. It's right side up for us. Yeah.
This just looks weird.
What is
You said you went to Toolbox? Is that what you said?
Yeah, on the left side it's Hangout Toolbox.
Okay, and then I have to accept a few things. Okay.
Yeah, just accept the app, and then it's the first icon with the sort of face with the person in it.
Okay.
And then you can type in whatever you want. So I put my name and then host, but you can type in whatever you want.
I have to fool around with this later.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun.
Change the whole overlay?
Yeah, you can actually upload images. Like this is just a stock one, the red sort of banner you have there, but you can upload your own.
So what if I did this?
Oh, look at that.
Cool.
Okay, wait, that shows that instead of the camera, right?
Right now, yes.
This is neat.
This is the
I was hoping I'd be able to put that at the bottom part instead.
well, I think you have to choose logo, and then you can put it in there.
No, the logo is the picture that appeared there.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? That picture you want to change?
Well, no, I was going to have the whole thing appear there instead of the Lee Weiser
Oh, I see.
thing, but
I see. Yeah, there is a way to do that.
I'll
Anyway,
figure
we'll
out
have to check that out.
at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me put my camera back on here. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there's Dimitri.
I knew he would.
Hi, guys.
show up.
Hi,
Hey,
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
You're late.
Just adjusting here.
Okay, let me officially start the show, and then we'll get going. Hi, my name is Peter Hartman. You're watching The Appreciationist. Thank you very much for joining us. Tonight's show we'll be talking about Salman Khan's Khan Economy, khaneconomy.org, and we'll talk about his video, his TED video, his TED Talk. Let's use video to reinvent education. But before we get to that, let's meet the people in our room here today. Who is here with us? I see we have Lee, Valerie, Joanne, Dimitri. You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. I thought I'd do it this way since we had so many people. I didn't want to take up too much time with the introductions, but I really like that you guys were here today. You guys have any words you want to say before we move forward? Anything you want to say today? Where were you, Lee, last week? We missed you.
Last week, well, because I went to the leadership convention this weekend in Columbus, Ohio, I was busy preparing for that, and I had to do a whole bunch of things dealing taxes, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So it was taking my time then. The week before that, it was really just a business meeting that I went to. But I'm free tonight.
Hey, no, we're happy to have you. I don't mean to put you on the spot there. I'm really glad that you came back here today. We have our regular Dimitri's here, Valerie, Joanna is back. We're really glad to have you guys here. How are you guys feeling?
Great.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome, indeed.
Yeah.
Everything is awesome. Look, if you guys are watching online right now live, you want to participate with your webcam. All you need is a webcam, headphones, and a microphone, and of course an internet connection. And you log in, and you'll be able to talk to us. Just add the law of attraction to your Google Circles, and you'll get an invitation to participate live with us. If you don't want to participate live today, you'd like to do it another time, just show up here around 6:45, about 15 minutes before the show, and you'll get an invite, and you'll be able to participate with us. Great. So before we get to the joke of the week, which is one of my favorite parts of the show, I wanted to actually start with a moment of appreciation instead of leaving that later. Actually, I was thinking about this week my moments of appreciation, and I thought, well, I didn't really have one. But as I pondered it long enough, I actually came up with three or four. So I'm looking forward to mentioning that here today. But do you guys have a moment of appreciation? You guys want to share something that happened to you this week?
Sure, I'll go first. Actually, me, it's quite a few, especially this week. One, the leadership convention that I went to is probably the best ever. The learning that I got out of there, and how inspired I am now to do certain things. I've gone to a few before, but this was just the best ever. What really helped with that, of course, is the fact that, well, it was the Olympics this weekend. And so I left early Thursday night to get there in time Friday morning for the hockey game. Able to watch that. And then, of course, some of the best speakers were Canadian, so of course they had to talk to that in the U.S. in front of everybody. That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we won gold in both things, so that, on top of everything else.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Like when it's actually very crazy to me where somebody else can work their whole life and win the gold, and we can all take credit for it. But the truth is, it's fun to sort of like be a part of that. It's like when you go to a hockey game or a basketball game or whatever it is, and your team wins, and everybody screams, "We did it! We did it!" And
what do we do?
What do we do? Well, we gave them our attention, and they're representing us. So it's cool that you were able to do that. Where was the event taking place?
Was in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, so you have to travel pretty far to get there. Oh, nice.
Yeah, about a 12-hour drive from here.
Nice, very cool. Well, that is definitely something to appreciate. Very cool. How about you guys? Well, Joanne, any moment of appreciation for you?
Yeah, you said, if you said watched a TV show or whatever.
Yeah, well, it could be a meal that you ate, a song that you heard.
Yeah, I was really surprised because I was just watching TV last night and The Voice was on, and I was so excited because I didn't realize it was coming back on. So yeah, I was really excited about that.
Nice. Well, is The Voice like a type of American Idol type show, or?
Yeah, but it's the guys. They don't see your face. They only hear your voice. And then if they like you, like there's four really good singers like Adam Levine from Maroon 5, Shakira. A couple of others, and if they like you, they push the button, and you get to be on their team.
Oh wow!
So, anyways, it's really a cool show, and I love it. So.
It's like a show that you look forward to, like you look.
Oh
forward
yeah.
To seeing it. Very nice, very cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Dimitri? You have a moment of appreciation this week?
I guess. Last week I discovered the smoked meat at Dunn's restaurant, and I just love it. I've tried Schwartz, and it doesn't go with me. I get it in digestion when I have it, but with Dunn's I just go crazy over that smoked meat, and I've been thinking about it all week.
Oh God! So, now you got me thinking about it.
Yeah, now I'm pretty hungry. Where is Dunn's? I've never heard of it. Where is it?
Dunn's. There's many locations. One that's next to my house is Jean Talon de Carry, and they're open 24 hours. So if I have a craving 3 o'clock in the morning, I get in my car and just go.
You're in trouble. This is a bad addiction.
There used to be one right on St. Catherine Street, but I don't think it's there anymore.
I don't think so. No. Very cool. Well, that's good. I think you gave us all a little craving here. How about you, Valerie? Any moment of appreciation this week?
Yes. When I got my new computer, I decided to have a new homepage, and I wanted something with beautiful pictures or quotes or both. And I remembered I have a friend in Brazil, actually, since I've known her, she's always been very good about doing that, combining quotes and paintings or pictures. And she has well, it's not a blog, it's a Tumblr. I don't even know if that's how you say it.
That's right, Tumblr, yeah.
Okay, and so I decided to put that as my homepage. And so every day I get, it's just wonderful to just open it up to a new picture or a beautiful quote. And it's very inspiring, really. It sets my day every time.
Very cool. What was your, if you remember, what was the quote today? Or the last
not a quote today. Sometimes she has all kinds of quotes. Sometimes she has all kinds of paintings. And today was a picture of a painting, actually, and then also a picture of flowers. She takes beautiful pictures, and she's traveled quite a bit. And so that's what it was, flowers.
Very nice. Very cool. Very cool. No, that sounds really nice. I'm just trying to find here my my moment of appreciation. You know, look, you mentioned a TV show, Joanne, and I wasn't going to mention this just because I feel weird talking about it. But I'll tell you this: I saw an episode of The Walking Dead, and it was just fantastic. There's just something about zombies that get me. It's the only thing that scares me, right? It tingles me, and when I see a good episode, it really gets me going. But we had a meetup this past weekend. I think it was on Sunday, questions and answers, where I was just answering some questions about the law of attraction and general questions. And after the event, I had a sort of private conversation with two wonderful people who opened up and shared with me some things. And I was really touched that these two people would be willing to talk to me about what was going on in their lives. I was really touched by their willingness to share this with me, and I felt compelled and inspired to be of benefit, but that feeling was really encompassing, was really, really good. And I sort of wanted to carry on that feeling about sort of talking to someone, expressing your feelings to them. And so I called my grandfather. I've been meaning to call him for a little while, and I finally did it. And I had a long conversation with him. It was probably the longest conversation I've ever had with him. And we were talking about Buddhism. I found out, I learned that he was interested in Buddhism, and he was explaining his viewpoints on that. He was explaining to me about what he thought about right and wrong and good and evil. And to be able to sit down with your grandfather and really hear the way he's thinking was really satisfying. And then also,
I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I was really happy to hear.
Is your grandfather Montreal?
No, he lives in United States, California.
Okay.
For United States. So we even talked about a little bit about politics, Obama, Republicans, liberals, about how to get stuff done. He really values people who help their community, who help make the world a better place. He believes that that's really what we should be doing in life, that if you can add something to the environment that you're in, then when you're gone, then you've lived a good life. And I was really happy to have that conversation with him. And then similarly, speaking of helping your community and adding something to it, I got an email, I think it was yesterday, from a wonderful lady, Josie. Josie is a wonderful person who is a member of our group. She visits us. She talks. She contributes in these incredible ways. She thinks on levels and dimensions that are beyond what I think about sometimes. And she has agreed to do her moderating her own group discussions for our group. So finally, we're going to be having other people holding group discussions in our group, and Josie's going to be the first one to do that. And she actually asked to do it on a date. The date that she picked to do the group discussion was my birthday. Tom and my birthday. And so I was really glad that on a day where I'm sure not to do a group discussion or anything, she was willing to do that. So I was really happy that Josie participated with that. And then the more I thought about this appreciation, the more I thought, oh, there's something else that happened to me too. There's a gentleman in our group, his name is Alexi, and he actually started a meetup called Holistic Wealth. And if I understand correctly, he has a plan, he has his vision of helping to create 100, I believe it's 100 new millionaires. Now, I think that's an ambitious goal, but I think your dream should be ambitious. And I was really proud of him for actually starting his meetup group and going ahead with that. I know he'll be having a meetup shortly that's Holistic Wealth. But he taught me something. It was an idea he saw somewhere else. He taught me about this rubber band. And what you do is, if you're trying to remember something, if you're trying to develop a new habit, my habit was I wanted to learn how to be calmer, to speak slower, to relax more in public situations. And so I put the rubber band on my wrist, and every time I fail at what I'm doing, or every time I realize that I didn't do it, I switch hands and I put it on the other hand. And the goal is to keep the rubber band on your hand all day, and on the same hand all day. And I've been doing this. It was brought up in a suggestion in our group, and I actually did it. And I found the results were dramatic immediately. Like the same day, it took just a few hours, going out for a few hours with the rubber band, and constantly being reminded, because it's kind of hard to forget that you have that rubber band on your wrist, right? It's gaudy, it's ugly, people can see it, it's jiggling around, but I kind of like it. It's like obviously there. And within a few hours, I found myself immediately falling into this habit of checking myself and appreciating it. And even after it started working, I don't even need the rubber band anymore. I still wear it just for the reminder and the fun of it. So I really appreciated Alexi sharing that with us, and I took charge of that, and it really has helped my life immediately.
I'm gonna try that for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely try
and
it.
I remember him saying that, and then I totally forgot about it after.
Yeah, well, it happens. That's why I wrote it down, and I said, I've got to get on board with it. I'm the type of person who, I learned a long time ago that every single person that you come in contact with, or at least this is my belief, any single person that you come in contact with has the ability to give you something that will make your life better. And all you have to do is either be open to what they're saying, or inquisitive enough in order to ask the right questions, right? Sometimes you're talking to someone, you're saying, oh, this person's boring, this person is this person is that. But if you're able to ask the right questions, and if you're able to have the right mindset, in every conversation exists the potential for growth, a potential for a benefit to you. And I was glad that I was not only willing to listen to Alexi and to try out his advice, but he was willing enough to share it with us, and I really like that. And I know Josie is one of these people too. She'll be doing that.
Well, she was there for a few seconds, and then she was gone.
Did I see her? I thought maybe
Yes.
I imagined it because I was talking about her, but I felt, look, I had a lot to appreciate this week, so thank you to everybody for that. And thank you guys for sharing your moment of appreciation. It was really a lot of fun to hear about it.
See, if he has anything to actually, something like that, but instead of reminding you not to do something, to remind you to do something that you want to be doing every day, that would be awesome to know.
Yeah, well, look, he's the guy with a ton of information and a ton of advice, and I'm sure once he hears this, I'll relay this question to him, and I'll probably be back next week with one of his suggestions about what you can do. He's very practical-minded, he's very down-to-earth, and if you're in the Montreal area, you want to check out his meetup, his new meetup. You can really be a part of something fun to begin with. Holistic Wealth. You can find that on meetup.com. Look, it's time for the joke of the week. Are you guys ready for this?
Dun, 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 dun.
Joke of the week. Okay, so our joke of the week. So we did the moment of appreciation early, so that's good. So right after this, we'll be talking about a great idea. We'll be talking about coneconomy.org. But before that, we have to pick among two jokes. So last week we had...
Here we go again.
That's right. Last week we had Hope and Wonder. And so Hope has been sitting here for a little while. It's been 4 weeks now, I think. And now we have Truth here today. I hope I spelled that right. Truth. I'm saying it backwards.
Yes,
and so you guys can vote. So right now we're 4 in the room. Actually, just before that, I know Josie was trying to get in, so let me make sure that I'm not leaving her out in the cold. Josie, if you're listening, if you're watching, please write a message if you're trying to get in or if you accidentally logged in.
I think this is the most people we've had so far.
Yeah,
This is
that's
cool.
right.
Yay.
Yeah. Oh, it's only going to grow. I mean, as long as you keep at whatever it is you're doing, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. And so right now we were 1 or 2 and then 3 and now 4 and maybe even 5 if Josie comes in here. But eventually we'll have a waiting list for getting in here, and I'll have to remember, I'll say all my regulars first. My regulars first.
You bet.
I've got to remember Remember our crew here. Okay, Josie, if you're not able to come in, I apologize. I'll keep a look on what's going on here, but let's vote on our jokes. So which one do you guys want, hope or truth?
Truth.
Truth.
Oh my goodness! Was that everybody for truth?
No, I haven't said anything yet.
Okay, what do you choose?
Well, I guess I'm going to lose out. I would have said hope, but everybody else said truth, so.
Well,
Just wanted to get hope out of the way.
You want to get it out of the way. I'm actually very happy that hope is always lingering, because it's an apt metaphor.
That's
There's always,
true.
You have
There's
hope
always
that it's
something
still
to
going to
hope
come
for.
back next time.
There
That's
you
right,
go, of
exactly.
course.
That's
It's
right.
like how long can we keep it? It's like almost like how many weeks a song is number one or something
one.
like that.
Exactly.
I think it's really good to keep hope there because
Yeah.
really, you have so many people that'll if you're going out and doing something great, you'll have some people that says they may try to put you off from doing it, saying, "Oh, don't get your hopes up," worried about being hurt. But really,
Right.
you need to keep your hopes up because they'll never do anything without hope. So let's
That's
keep
right.
hope there and reminding people that hope exists.
Right.
That's right.
So it's there
Excellent.
every single week.
Excellent.
Very cool, Lee. That's absolutely right. But look, I don't want people to feel like they can't pick hope now. I mean, next week if you want to pick hope, you can definitely do that.
Now it's too precious,
So today is truth. Truth. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is decent. This is decent. It doesn't depend on my delivery. I hope so. I think we're good. If you missed last week's show, we had Wonder, and I did it in the pre-show for everybody, but I failed again. But if you want to see that joke bomb, you can check out the video last week on our YouTube page.
Now I have to look for it.
Now you got to go check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the joke of the week. My family says I talk in my sleep, but nobody at work has ever mentioned it. I like that one. I like that one.
I like that one too.
Can you say that again?
My family says I talk in my sleep, but nobody at work has ever mentioned it.
Oh.
And this is coming after the discussion we had last week about a 4-day work week.
4 days. That's right. Exactly. I really like that. The amount of bad jokes I have to read in order to find one that's halfway decent.
Really, I think you're brave.
Yeah, he is.
One of these days I'm gonna put the task on you guys to find the joke of.
good God.
No!
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
can give you a bunch.
Oh, we have a volunteer.
Hey, look, if you want to submit a joke for the joke of the week, you can post that in the comments below YouTube, on our Facebook page, on our Meetup page. And hey, maybe your joke might even win the comment of the week, right? At the end of the show, we're doing a comment of the week. We'll see if you win a little treat, a little goodie. And so, so keep that in mind. So, if you want to submit a joke, feel free. I mean, I'm always happy. If I can get a list of jokes in my email box, I think I'll be happy.
I'll see what I can come up with. I'm more for quotes myself, but
hey, we had a winner. Josie won last week, I think it was, with a quote from Shakespeare. I wish I could remember it off the top of my head, but I don't want to ruin it. But it was a really good one. She won that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so look, I'm trying to keep the show to 30 minutes, so we have just a few minutes left. But I want to talk about. I want to get to our section. What a great idea! And today's idea is the reason I like great ideas is because the more attention we give to good ideas, the more they become a part of our experience, right? So sometimes you think, well, even just talking about something, what does that do? But it generates interest, it generates buzz, and it sends the more attention you put on something, the bigger it gets. So that's why I like to take a moment out of the week just to put our attention on a good idea. And a good idea today is coneconomy.org. It's actually a great idea. If you haven't heard of Economy, please visit it online. You can find the YouTube video to that on our page right after the show. It'll be posted there if it's not there already. Now, Salman Khan, what he did was that he started creating videos to teach his nieces and nephews who didn't live with him, who lived in another part of the country, try to tutor them with their math homework, with their chemistry, and different things. And he started doing these videos, and there was such a good response to these videos that he had online that his family, his nieces and nephews, started saying that they liked him better on video than they liked him in person, because they could sort of pause him, rewind him. That's right. And the videos he put it on YouTube, and he left them public, right? He didn't think anything of it. He just left them public, and people started stumbling upon them, started finding them, and really started liking them. So he created this website, this platform, khaneconomy.org, where you can actually learn, whether it's math, chemistry, all these different topics. You can actually learn with these videos, these segmented videos online, and it tracks your progress. It measures your growth. Now, what's interesting about this is that they're using Khan Economy to sort of flip the script with education. What kids are doing who are using this, the schools and the classrooms that are using this, is that kids, they learn the information at home at their own pace with video, and then in class they do homework.
Oh, I remember you mentioning it at some point, yes, in some group discussion.
That's right. Yeah, in a group discussion I mentioned it. It's an idea that I love so much. I really love things where it turns out when you do it the opposite way, it works out even better. Things are not what they appear to be. And so what we have today with education is that we don't have a mastery-based progression. A mastery-based progression. What we do is that we want a kid to learn enough, and we take snapshots of how good he is during the year. And so if you take two kids, one kid who you might consider to be bright and the other kid you might consider to be not so bright, and you teach them in class, and then you give them a test in December. You give them a test just before the holidays or something, and one kid gets an A and the other kid gets a C. Well, then you stamp those kids as A and C, and they continue along that track. And the kid who's C is far likely to remain stagnant, and the kid who's A is far likely to be encouraged by what he's doing. But what we're finding with Khan Economy, or what they're finding with Khan Economy rather, is that as the kids do their schoolwork at home, a C student will become an A student over time. Given enough time, both the kids will reach the same point. But instead of taking a snapshot in a particular time and saying this is what the kid is, you allow them to learn at their own pace. Kids learn at their own pace. They learn at their own style. And allowing them to do the homework in class gives them the benefit of the teacher to help them to do the homework. Right? And so I love this idea of flipping the script. And so the Khan Economy is based on the mastery-based progression. What they're wanting is that you want the kid not only to be able to pass the tests, you want the kid to master the subject. You want all the kids to master a subject, and that's not the way the education system works right now. And if we are able to get kids to master their particular subjects, then we encourage A students, but we also turn C and D students into A students, and we develop a personalized education. And I wanted to know, what do you guys think about that? Well, how do you think your education, your upbringing would have changed if you did homework in class and you learned at your own pace at home?
Well, I think it would have been a whole lot better.
Yeah, you think you would have liked that?
I think I would have, yes.
How about you, Joanna? Do you think that you'd be able to do you think you'd be diligent enough to learn at home, right? Because you have to do it yourself, right? You've got to sort of motivate yourself and then do homework in class. Do you think you would get as much done that you would have been able to do it?
Doing homework in class would the teacher be helping you?
That's right. The teacher is giving you full attention, going around helping students.
Yes, I think that would have helped me immensely.
That's right. That's interesting. Did you guys like homework when you were in school?
No.
Never.
Not at all.
Depends. I loved English, so that was like the first thing I would do, homework, because it was like a game to me.
Oh, interesting. Very cool.
That's good. I hated math. I was never good in math, ever.
What about you, Lee? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No, finish your thought. So you hated math. So you never did the homework, or?
No, I hated it. I couldn't understand it. I knew my multiplication tables, but that was about it. Division, forget it. So when it came to doing homework, I was never a good student in math. I always failed.
Do you feel like if you were able to sort of learn it at your own pace?
Yes.
Because the idea here is that Con says all kids are able to pass school, all kids are able to do this thing. You just need to let them do at their own pace. Do you think that if you were able to, let's say, watch a video and pause it and rewind it and not feel the pressure of not understanding, you'd be able to get past it?
Yes, because everybody doesn't learn at the same pace. So when you've got, like you say, an A student and a C student, and they're both learning the same stuff, if you could pause or rewind it and go back and really, really think about it,
that's right,
you would get a lot better at it.
That's right.
I think that's a great idea.
What about you, Lee? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't want to take too long to talk about this because when it comes to education, I can go on for a long time. But see, with me, like, I don't know how much better I might have done with this program because it kind of depends how much it works with the school system that we have. Because I have really big issues with the way the school system works right now. See, I think to be educated properly, like, you really have to want to learn. Otherwise, you're not learning much. And so now, if I'm going to be using that system for something I don't want to learn, or that I don't think I need to learn long term, I'm not going to go through the effort to actually do the stuff on my own at home.
Mm-hmm.
But now, at the same time, the fact that it is progressive, that you go on your own pace, I think that's phenomenal. I think there's really good things about this in the sense that, especially when you look at the States and elsewhere in Canada, when you're not looking at Quebec because school is practically free here compared to everywhere else. But really, like, school is getting more and more expensive because of the way the system works. And so now when you have something like this, you have something that's free so that anybody can have access to it. The only problem with it, though, is the fact that because it's, or maybe not because, but like, how do you know that the people who are teaching it have the fruit on the tree? Like, how do you know that it's actually really good information? For instance, like, there could be stuff with math, and you know what, it's hard to say, oh, you know what, that's not actually true when it comes to math, because it's like kind of yes or no things. But there's a lot of subjects looking at the site, and I noticed just because I'm really passionate about economics, I went there to see, well, what information do they have on economics? And then I noticed that they're basing everything on wrong information. It's just like, if you listen to what they're teaching, you're gonna get what everybody else has. Like, our society right now is in such bad shape because people are following this Keynesian economics, even though it's been proved wrong time and time again. Yet that's exactly what they're teaching on that site.
Well, I completely agree with you, and I sort of feel the same way when it comes to science. There are a lot of breakthroughs in science. There's a lot of revolutions in science that have sort of redefined what we think about the scientific world. But you still have textbooks that are outdated. You have textbooks that are 50 years old. And so I sort of accept that as long as we do education in the way that we do, because what we're doing now is sort of a manufacturing style, right? We get kids in, we get a model in, the 2000 models get in, and they pop out a few years later. And education was really only meant to sort of create factory workers. That's why you have a school bell, that's why you have the lunch and the structure you have. Exactly. They were only trying to educate you enough to actually be able to be a manufacturer worker. And so now we're changing education. And when you talk about things like kids have to love what they're doing, they have to be interested in the subject. You tell that to somebody, let's say, who's in the old generation, they might think, well, no, school is not meant to be fun. School is meant for you to just do what you're supposed to pass those tests. But the truth is, true learning only occurs when you're passionate about the subject, or even interested or curious about it. And so what would happen in a system like this, what would happen is that you'd have kids who were masteries at certain things, but then not at others. But what I like about I accept that this element, this coneconomy.org, will evolve over time. And at first it was just Con doing videos, and then eventually more people did videos. And as the platform becomes more popular, we're going to have a sort of quality control, and you'll be able to update this information more readily than you would 1,000 books sitting in a factory somewhere. What I'm optimistic about is that this idea was presented at TED.com. At a TED Talk, and Bill Gates is actually backing this. He's behind this. He believes that at the end of the video that you'll see on our Facebook page, he talks about how we might very well be seeing the future of education here. And when Bill Gates says something like that, I feel like at least we're having intelligent people who are capable, who are looking at this. And so, yes, we're always going to be able to find some downside. Like, I was listening to a talk, and a gentleman was saying, well, you have soccer moms What happens if you have sort of dads who are forcing their kids to do this schooling at home, and it's no longer joyful. Now it's just the parents who are urging them to do the work at home. But I think the more autonomy, the more we can empower students to do it themselves. And what's interesting about the system is that it has game mechanics, right? The kid is actually seeing a progression to how well he's doing. He's seeing his improvement, his progress, and that adds an element of satisfaction that goes beyond here are the marks that you get on your test. Here is the report card. And then you have kids who do well in that Khan economy who can actually help tutor other kids. And you sort of have a reputation management system where it's not only a kid who's tutoring my kid, but it's a kid who's proven that he's able to do what he's doing. And so given the pros and cons, I choose the one that allows kids to be empowered over not being empowered. But I understand your point there.
No, like I said, I'm all for it. It's just one of the things you have to be careful of. But I still prefer this to, I guess, the regular education that we have, because it's kind of like you said, you're talking about factory work, where I guess with all the coding that I've done, I kind of see our school system as they don't actually teach you to be successful. They don't teach you how to actually get along in life. They teach you how to have a job and how to follow rules. That's it. And if you look at most people that are really successful, a lot of them didn't finish school. Some of them didn't finish high school. A lot of them didn't even go into stage yet. It's because they learned things through life that they were able to use to become successful by studying, like leadership, all that kind of stuff. Where maybe that's changed a little bit today, but at least when I was in school, there was no leadership whatsoever.
Mm.
And so I believe in that self-directed education, which it looks like this Khan Academy thing is all about. It's not that here you're going to learn this and that's it. You actually get to go in and learn about what you want, which is
that's right.
going to be phenomenal.
That's right. And what's even better, in my opinion, I mean, despite the pitfalls, is that people who are in third world countries who don't have access to school whatsoever, or not to the quality that would be up to our standards, they have access to these videos, right? Khan Economy is free. If you're in India, if you're in Africa, you can actually log onto here, and there are actually students that are there. At the time of the shooting of the TED video, I believe he says they had 1 million people who went on board, and so I don't know how many there are at now, but I imagine a lot of them are in other parts of the world. But what about you, Dimitri? What do you think about this? What do you think about sort of personalized education or flipping the script with school? Do you think it's as it should be?
No, I think it's the beginning of making education better. I think that I hear an echo.
Oh.
Okay. Is that better? No, I still hear an echo.
I don't hear an echo. Do you guys hear one?
Yeah.
An echo for
A
everybody.
little bit.
Oh, for everybody. Oh, interesting.
Pardon me.
Well, we'll see how that
Actually,
goes.
except for you, Peter.
Yeah, I don't hear an
see.
echo with you.
Keep going, Dimitri.
Okay, so I think it's a start. It's just going to get better and better. It's about realizing that what we have now doesn't work, and trying different things and find something that works. Obviously, this is not a complete solution, but it's starting in the right direction. The real problem is, how do you know if someone is good? A lot of students, they just memorize the material, the test comes, they just read it out, and they get 100%. Well, not a lot, but the students that work hard,
That's right.
so they get high marks, and then they go to industry, and they don't know anything.
That's right.
And I've seen people like that in school. So the way you grade people should change. I'm not sure how, but that's the key to realizing who knows their stuff and who's just memorizing.
That's right.
I think that's where leadership really comes in. That's what's missing from schools, because leadership is really working with other people. It's really about your people skills, and really, in the end, it's life skills, which is not taught. So they have the knowledge, but they don't have the life skills to apply it, like you said. So if you had that involved in there somewhere, I think that would make everything about it so much better.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. What you were saying there, Dimitri, about it being a wonderful sort of experimentation to see how we go, but you recognize that there's still a lot more that we have to do. And Lee, you were talking about sort of self-directed education. That's exactly what I think. What I feel comforted by is that despite your education system, you live in a world with the internet, and and children, young kids who are enterprising, who are self-motivated, if they want to, they can actually learn incredible things. I mean, there are kids, I've watched screencasts and tutorials about software done by 13-year-olds for Photoshop or for After Effects or for whatever it is, and they're not waiting for school to teach it to them. They're learning it on their own. You're seeing incredible kids learning how to do, podcasts, learning equipment, learning cameras, and they're not doing it because it's a part of their curriculum. They're doing it because they have an interest to do something else. And so we live in a world right now, or at least in our part of the world, where if a kid is motivated enough, he can, sort of educate himself outside of the school system. But because so many kids are in school, it's actually, I believe it's important that we sort of acknowledge that we have to shift the paradigm with education, a radical shift, right? Not a sort of tinkering around the edges, but a radical shift. But in so doing, we can actually have fun doing it, right? The experimentation, we can have fun experimenting with how things go. And so you'll hear people like doing homeschooling who are doing very well, right? Homeschooling, and then you have people realizing that memorization is not learning, which is what a lot of kids do these days. It's just memorization. It's what I did when I was in school. I was able to just memorize something right before the test and then dump it all on the paper, and you passed. But then
I still had trouble with that.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but even the way we learn is still being discovered, right? Psychology, neuroscience, the way the brain works. We are learning more about learning, right? And so. I can't criticize too much the people who tried to do their best in the past. I only want to encourage people to sort of seek out these opportunities like Khan Economy to do more. What about you, Valerie? What do you think about this education system or Khan Economy?
The new one you're talking about, or about the old one?
Well, whichever one. Like, just your opinion about this conversation.
I think I would have liked to really pursue what I loved. And have having homework in class. I think this is good, and I've always enjoyed learning, so I don't think I would have had a problem learning from home. But then having an interaction with a teacher and to better understand the material and stuff like that, but especially really going for what I really loved, I think it would have really changed my life.
Look, I think everybody in this room would agree with that, right? If you find something that you love, especially at a young age, it really transforms yourself, right? It gives you self-esteem. It gives you something to focus on. It drives you, and it stays with you for the rest of your life. And I remember when Tom and I have a twin brother, his name is Tom. Tom and I, we got into 6th grade. They gave us our textbook, our math textbook. And we realized that all of the homework we were going to get was in this book. All the questions were in there. And so Tom and I, we just went home and we did it all. We just did all the homework for the entire year. And when we came back to school and we told them that we did the homework, we weren't told, oh, good for you. We weren't told, oh, we were told, what are we going to do with you all year long? What are we going to do with you guys? Don't do this ever again. But what we did, they were really, they were
it's like putting a hold on learning.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
We live in an environment where if two kids are enterprising enough and they do all their homework, it's considered to be bad news. But I mean, it turned out to be to our benefit. In 6th grade, when we did our math, all our math homework, we went around and we started helping kids all year long with their math homework. And it's no surprise that now Tom is a trainer and that I teach people, right?
Where were you when I was taking math?
You wasn't born.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sorry, Joanne. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but then it just came.
That's very true, Val.
But it really is like that, right? It's really if we can incorporate, love, interest, curiosity in schools, then I think we're taking a step in the right direction. And the reason I like Khan Economy is not only because it flips the script, but it contains a sort of game mechanics that I think is the future of not only education but work in general. Whatever it is you're doing, whether it's making a pizza, sweeping the floor, flying a plane, there's a way to make it fun, not a way to make it useless or just sort of idle play, but a way to turn that into measured progress that can be satisfying not only for you but for the people around you.
Is this a very well-known phenomenon? Because I've never heard of it before.
And that's what I'm talking about. KhanEconomy.org. Look, if you look at the video on TED, on YouTube, you have 3,333,056 views, something like that, give or take. And so I'm very optimistic about that. Usually when I find these wonderful videos on TED.com, YouTube, whatever it is, I see like 12 views or something like that, right? Miley Cyrus and her twerking gets a lot more views than something inspiring. But I'm encouraged because this one here had millions of views, and it's being backed by a lot of people, so it's popular. But I think it's more in the education system that they're aware of it, right? It hasn't reached to us in the mainstream, and that's sort of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to get the conversation started, pointing you in the right direction to say, hey, check this out, it might be cool.
Definitely.
Right.
Hey, look, I think that's it for us today. We have the comment of the week coming up here, but do you guys have anything else you want to add to this subject?
No, it was very interesting. Thank you.
Very interesting. Thank you very much.
Like, it was only interesting because you guys made it interesting. I really appreciate it.
Well, of course.
Of course.
I just love it.
We got to give us some credit.
That's right.
I just love the comment you made about like learning about learning.
Right.
That's just because I just finished reading a book, right? That was like I kind of say that I was reading a book on how to read, which sounds kind of funny, but actually it's this one here. Page like it's pretty much how to read like the leader, so you actually get the most out of your books. And so that's kind of the same thing. I'm reading to learn how to read, and here we're learning about how to learn.
Exactly. Very cool. Look, that was a wonderful comment. And speaking of comments, that's my segue there to the comment of the comment of the week. So our comment of the week is by a lovely lady named Trev. Trev, if you're watching now, or if you're watching later, you won the comment of the week.
A cupcake.
It's a little cupcake, so if you're coming to one of our events, you'll get a little cupcake. You might even get two, you never know. And so you're welcome to come for that. If you can't make it in town, I mean, I'm sure you can, but if you can't make it in town, we'll find some other way to get that to you or to give another treat to you. But here's your comment. So it's a very short comment. We put up an event on our meetup page, and within a flash, it filled up. And so she wrote, how could I be on the wait list? Question mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Didn't this post just go up this morning? Madness. And indeed, it is madness. After that comment, we did, of course, let her in, but it was really fun to see something like that.
That's great.
Look, that's the comment of the week. If you want to participate with the comment of the week, all you have to do is put a comment. You can put a comment on the YouTube video if you're watching this on YouTube, on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Law of Attraction Montreal, or on our meetup page. You can just find us there for the Law of Attraction as well. All our links are available at lawofattraction.ca, so feel free. Look, that's it for our show tonight. We have our upcoming events. February 28th, we have Love and Attraction at the Rubik Center downtown. March 6th, we have conversation, community discussion, Is the Universe Intelligent? We'll be holding that at the Montreal Diocesan Theological College. And on March 14th, we're holding Jumpstart at the Rubik Center. That's for professionals who are interested in working online. Look, is there anything else left to say besides thank you so much for participating with us?
Thank you.
Really cool to
Have
you
a
guys.
good week, guys. And
Have a
thank you
good
so
time.
much.
Same.
Be well.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Be well.
Hey, stay on for 2 seconds. I want to ask you something, actually.
Oh,
Once
we're
not
live. If we're not live, okay. So look, thank you guys for coming out live. Usually I say a little thing when everybody goes. I want to say a special thank you to Josie for participating, for wanting to be a moderator. And if you're in the Montreal area, please check out Holistic Wealth on meetup.com. Our friend Alexi is starting a group. If you want to be a millionaire, he wants to help you become one. Check that out. Thank you.